Well, let's now turn our attention to the prevailing situation in Delhi as far as air pollution is concerned. After weeks of breathing poison, the rain gods finally showered their blessings on the people of the Delhi NCR region as its inhabitants woke up to rainfall today morning in the early hours of the morning, leading to marginal improvement in the AQI. However, the battle has not yet ended because Diwali is very much around the corner and AQI levels are expected to go up again. We know that this has become a story every year, a routine story every year, and people are left to gasp for breath. And to address the root cause, the Supreme Court today once again pulled up states for their failure to bring a practical solution on the ground. Talking tough, the Supreme Court said that they need to thank the Almighty and not the government for this temporary relief. The state secretaries need to bring practical solutions, else they'll be summoned. That's the directive that's come from the courts. Now, pulling up the Delhi government, the Supreme Court noted that nothing much was visible on the ground and that the odd-even scheme has had a minimal impact. The court also asked the Delhi government to not shift its own burden onto the courts. The courts also asked the centre and also the Punjab government about the steps that they've been taking as long-term measures to slowly phase out stubble burning or paddy to restore the water table in Punjab, and made it clear that it wanted farm fires to stop. The court also told the states to show results on steps being taken to curb pollution and posted the matter now for further hearing on the 21st of November. Well, let me go across to Harish, who has more details about what panned out in the Supreme Court. Harish, tell us about the directive that's come from the courts, because it's not had very kind words to say either to the Delhi government or, for that matter, to the central government or some of the neighbouring states, be it Punjab, among others.
Yes, that's right. In a way, Siddharth, the Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul led bench has given set a deadline of November 21st for all the stakeholder states, UP, Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, Delhi, and also for the centre by November 21st, they have to come up with a comprehensive scheme to bring down pollution drastically and threaten to summon chief secretaries of all these states if nothing has been done by then. Supreme Court very clearly said that we have been struggling for past 6 years, year after year, no solution is forthcoming. The Supreme Court said everyone knows the source, but why nothing is being done? We are not experts, but wish to know why things are not moving. Every time it will pick up speed only if we intervene. In fact, a lot of meetings are happening, but at ground level, nothing being implemented. In fact, the court also said there is an alternative to crop burning. Let machines be used to dispose it off. If centre ready to bear 50% subsidy, Punjab says it will bear 25%, Delhi says 25%, then machines will be free of cost. But
sure,
there is no answer for it. So also, the Supreme Court told Attorney General,
yes,
Mr. AG, do you want us to pass an order that all the government officers shall work on the streets without masks? Let your officers stand in the open for one whole day, then you will come to know. So very, very stringent remarks coming in from the Supreme Court to the centre and all the...
Right, many thanks for that. The Supreme Court, of course, takes a very dim view of the efforts taken by several governments so far in tackling this particular issue. Now, not just the Supreme Court, but even the National Green Tribunal wrapped the states over this pollution crisis. The National Green Tribunal pointed out that cities in Punjab are engulfed in smoke, and it also asked if there was any improvement in the situation in the state. Punjab and the northeastern states, including the NCR region, have been reeling under massive air pollution for over a week. It also called out the states of Bihar as well as Uttar Pradesh over pollution woes. Now, the courts as well as the NGT's scathing attack comes at the backdrop of the Delhi government submitting an affidavit to the top court backing the odd-even scheme. However, the top court said that the odd-even scheme has had minimal impact. The Delhi government cited data to back its claims. The AAP government relied on a traffic impact study to maintain that the policy has had positive impact in reducing vehicular pollution in the city and that it's also brought down congestion on Delhi streets. It also added that researchers have concluded that the scheme is as an emergency measure during the winter months where car emissions play a more prominent role in affecting air quality. In fact, the Aam Aadmi Party's Atishi last night also did an inspection on the road. She's a minister. Let's listen into what happened.
We are reporting exactly from the Ghazipur border, from where the checkpoints of the trucks are being monitored over here. Remember that the cabinet minister Atishi from Delhi government has come over here to monitor the situation and to check that whether the rules of grade 4 that have been implemented in the Delhi NCR are being followed or not. Remember that with grade 4 restrictions imposed in the Delhi NCR, that follows entry of trucks carrying non-essential items into the capital from Noida is banned, and curbs have been placed on plying of BS3 and BS4 vehicles, and also restrictions have come in force as per the grade 4, as per the stage 4 plan of the GRAP, and that is why in fact to monitor the situation that are all these rules being followed or not, the cabinet minister is here checking the several checkpoints and the trucks as well, speaking to the truck drivers, getting the details so as to monitor that what kind of vehicles are entering over. You could also see that several senior officials from the police department, from the concerned authorities are also here to check that whether these trucks fall under the category of grade 4 or not.
Now, the decision to implement the odd-even scheme from the 13th of November has been postponed on the part of the Delhi government. The Delhi Environment Minister has cited reduction in AQI levels as the reason for the step. The Aam Aadmi Party, however, continues to shift blame over the pollution crisis, saying that the neighbouring states have not followed rules or directions to curb pollution within their respective territories.
दिल्ली के अंदर रात से जो बारिश का मौसम बना हुआ है, बारिश हो रही है, हवाएं चल रही हैं, उससे दिल्ली में प्रदूषण का स्तर काफ़ी कम हुआ है, काफ़ी सुधार देखा जा रहा है। उसको देखते हुए सरकार ने निर्णय लिया है कि जो 13 तारीख से 20 तारीख तक ऑड इवन का निर्णय लिया था उसे पोस्टपोन किया जा रहा है। दिवाली के बाद प्रदूषण के स्तर की समीक्षा करके और फिर सरकार आगे का निर्णय लेगी।
देखिए, ये बात सब लोग कहते हैं कि दिल्ली के अंदर जो है जियोलॉजिकल जो पोजीशन है हमारी, वो ऐसी है कि आसपास के राज्यों से ज़्यादा धुआं दिल्ली में आता है। दिल्ली के आसपास के राज्य प्रदूषण के ऊपर कंट्रोल करने के जो नियमों का पालन है वो नहीं करते हैं। दिल्ली की कोई बाउंड्री नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है कि दिल्ली की कोई बाउंड्री है और दिल्ली अगर अपने आप को साफ रख रहा है तो दिल्ली की हवा साफ रहेगी। सब राज्यों को कोशिश करनी पड़ेगी और उसके अंदर केंद्र को जो है भागीदारी देनी पड़ेगी। केंद्र को आना पड़ेगा और केंद्र को समन्वय स्थापित करके अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन देना पड़ेगा और राज्यों को जो है एक टेबल पर बिठा के इसके लिए काम करना पड़ेगा।
Now, the Aam Aadmi Party government finds itself at the center of a storm because the stubble burning issue in Punjab remains the core issue, which is one of the top reasons why Delhi continues to breathe poison. As per reports from September 15 to the 8th of November, Punjab has recorded maximum stubble burning cases, which is amounting to 22,981 over a period of almost 3 months. 1,649 farm fires have been recorded in the state of Haryana. The report also noted that stubble burning assumes greater dimensions and becomes a primary contributor to the overall adverse air quality scenario in the Delhi NCR region. Meanwhile, let's also listen in to farmers in the state of Punjab who've come out explaining as to why they're being compelled to resorting to burn their stubble. They've squarely blamed the lack of machines as one of the reasons, and also available techniques as well as technology which is not being provided to them in order to ensure that paddy straw is not burnt.
ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਗ ਲਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਮੁਸੀਬਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਸੀ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਰਾਲੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਿਪਟਾਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗ ਲਾਉਣੀ ਪੈ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਠਾਂ ਬੰਨ੍ਹਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਜੇ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ, ਜੇ ਗੱਠਾਂ ਵਿਕਦੀਆਂ ਹੋਣ ਫਿਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ, ਨਾ ਹੀ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਾ ਅੱਗ ਲਾਉਣ। ਉਹ
ਪਰਾਲੀ ਜਲਾਉਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਚਲੋ ਮਜਬੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਹਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਰਾਲੀ ਸਾਂਭਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਈਆਂ। ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿ ਚਾਹੇ ਹੈਪੀ ਸੀਟਰ ਲਾ ਲਓ, ਚਾਹੇ ਰੂਟਾਵੇਟਰ ਲਾ ਲਓ, ਚਾਹੇ ਸੁਪਰ ਸੀਡਰ ਲਾ ਲਓ, ਉਹ ਹਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਫੂਸ 'ਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲੂਜ ਪਰਾਲੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਵੇ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਜੇ ਬਣਿਆ।
Now, there's a political war of words as well on the prevailing situation in Punjab as well as in Delhi. The Bharatiya Janata Party has come down very heavily on the Aam Aadmi Party Sarkar.
देखो एक चीज़ मैं बताऊं, पहले तो इनके दिमाग का आजीवन ठीक होना चाहिए। दिमाग का पोल्यूशन जो है वो थोड़ा सा शुद्धिकरण हो जाए। अगर दिमाग में पोल्यूशन होगा तो आप कोई भी पोल्यूशन खत्म नहीं कर पाएंगे। आपके दिमाग में पॉलिटिकल पोल्यूशन भरा हुआ है, इसीलिए ऊपर वाला भी जो है वो समझ रहा था इस बात को। इसलिए ऊपर वाले ने भी जो ये आर्टिफिशियल बारिश की बात हो रही थी उसने ओरिजिनल बारिश करा दी। तो ठीक है, हम तो यही कहेंगे, गेट वेल सून।
Well, let's take this across to our guests as well. We have lawyer Mr. Deshratan Nigam joining us and also Dr. Akashdeep Muni, political analyst. Dr. Muni, coming to you first and foremost, how do you assess the current scenario? Because the Supreme Court has been quite scathing in some of its observations, not just against the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi, but also, of course, the AAP government in Punjab, also the states of Haryana, among others. It's also come down fairly hard on the centre. So do you believe that this has been a collective failure?
I think the Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab and Delhi has performed very nicely. It has brought down the stubble burning from 81,000 in 2016 when Bharatiya Janata Party government was there in Punjab to, as you report now, it is 22,000. तो 4 गुना कम कर दिया, मतलब नहीं कि अच्छी सरकार रन कर रहे हैं. Okay. So that's it. Second point, specifically I want to tell to your viewers at this point is that I think that both the central government and state government has to do more, including the Aam Aadmi Party government, regarding this particular pollution issue. They know that the geopolitical issue, geological issue of Delhi, they know previously. So they have to work day and night before 1 year, so that during Delhi, Diwali, Delhi is not polluted. They should have made the plan.
Okay.
And one last point.
Okay.
And for the central government has to give up the incompetency and work for the people. Start working rather than just always doing politics. You now showed the bite of one of the central ministers. No facts, just rhetoric. This has to stop.
Okay, that was Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, the former minister that you were referring to. Let me take this across to Mr. Deshratan Nigam as well. Mr. Nigam, Mr. Muni's contention here is that farm fires have been brought down from more than 80,000 to about 22,000. We're talking about a period between the months of September to November. But one would argue that 22,000 is 22,000 too many because it's still having an impact on the pollution levels here and, of course, in the state of Punjab as well.
Well, Siddharth, in fact, if Aam Aadmi Party calling it that the Punjab and Delhi AAP government has been working nicely, and if this is the level of being working nicely, I just hope we must change the definition of nice. We all are, smoking at least 40 cigarettes per day, all Delhites, and we see the haze covered, the entire Delhi being covered. This ad hocism, suddenly, the Aam Aadmi Party government awakens. There is no permanent solution. There is no permanent policy in Delhi or even in Punjab. Suddenly they, wake up and odd even, the only 10% of the vehicular population of particular, I'm only talking about particular matters, is on account of vehicular pollution. And if you reduce it to cars and jeeps, it gets further reduced by 1/4. So it is not going to have any impact. And thankfully, they have probably thought of, they've, postponed it. Yes. Probably they'll apply their mind to have some kind of a permanent policy. This has nothing to do politics. If political quibbling is the only solution, then we will not go anywhere. The Supreme Court was quite scathing. A rundown was given to the government. And they must realize that they are playing with the health of the people. Immediately, people may not die, but it's permanent impairment that the lungs have and the overall body has. We Delhites are suffering. Okay. And therefore, we have to get out of this political mold and start blaming each other. Central government gives thousands of crores since not today, since so many years to, prevent the Punjab government from burning the stubble. parali burning, but nothing has been done.
Oh.
There is a system of, converting parali into compost or into boards from which houses and factories walls can also be made. That technology is also available. Nothing is being done, and suddenly the person comes up, has a meeting, emergency meeting of an emergency situation whose impact probably will come if they have some permanent policy whose impact will come after 10 years. When they may be there or may not be there in power. So please don't play with the health of the people. Throwing data is the data you were saying was cumulative. It has not yet peaked. The parali burning has not yet peaked. It's still to come.
Yes.
This is just the middle of it. And we still have the entire November left. So don't give the data, fudged out data, saying that this is it and how we have and that is not the real data that you are giving. The real data is for everybody to see how much it has been reduced. So let us not do politics. Let us not play, play with the health of the people.
Okay, Mr. Nigam. Point taken. And also, Dr. Muni, many thanks for your inputs on this. The Supreme Court was quite categorical. It said that farm fires need to be brought to a complete stop. We'll see what steps are taken in the next few months to follow, because we're still at the beginning of the winter season. For the time being, we'll take a short break. We'll come back with a lot more on the other side. We thank our guests for their participation.